Left me in a red light, turn off the headlights. Can't see where I'm going, you straight ahead right. I crashed into a wall, hoping I was dead right. Girl, get your head right, I ain't got a bed right. Left me on a red light, red light, red light, ooh, red light, red light, ooh. Left me on a red light, red light, red light, ooh, red light, red light, ooh. Left me on a red light, red light, red light, ooh, red light, red light, ooh. Left me on a red light, red light, red light, ooh, red light, red light, ooh. Left me on a red light, red light, ooh, red light, red light, ooh. See me go, red light, red light.
Queen.
What's playing in the living room?
So this is off of X Brody's newest project that is dropping April 16th, which used to be my birthday. It's not this year. And that song is called Red Light. I really like this new project. I think that he is growing a whole lot as an artist. So I'm really happy for my brethren.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, when I heard it on his story, I was like, okay, all right now. I had visuals.
Yeah.
I had visuals playing in my head.
Ooh, okay.
For the things.
Are y'all shooting some things?
Oh no, we haven't.
some
We
point?
we definitely have talked about it, but Corona and
Corona is such a fucking slut. Oh my
all
god, I'm
kinds
so sick
of
of her
things.
shit today.
So we're behind on all the things that we're supposed to be doing, but I'm sure I'm definitely looking forward to working with him in the future and creating some great things. I've been trying to figure out how to make a cheap car rig, like where you put the camera on the car.
Oh, okay.
Like, cause
Have y'all been seeing Sydney showing out? Have y'all been seeing the things? Because Sydney is what shall I call you? Not Sydney Lee. Maybe Spike Wadsworth.
what the hell? Well, everybody wants to be Spike Lee out here, but I feel like Tiana Taylor has already taken the new generation of Spike Lee. You know,
I saw her claim that, but I don't know that one music video is gonna make you Spike T.
One music video, girl, you're tripping. She has many.
Okay.
Oh, you're saying it's got to be a movie?
I mean,
I'm feeling a lot
maybe
of.
she had like 20 dope ass videos.
You've been drinking
that
some
everybody,
Haterade.
everybody knows that video, huh?
Drinking some Haterade this morning.
Oh, no, I'm not. I just think that you need a little bit more under your belt to be calling yourself Spike anything. Like Sydney. Sydney's a goat.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I'm about to say, you think I got Tiana Taylor beat? I don't know, man. I don't know. But
you do in my mind, friend.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to, Tiana, if you're listening, I'm just trying to get a job with
I want the people to
aunties.
know in the living room that Sydney and I are recording today via FaceTime. And this is so good. I have missed my friend.
I have talked to you every day, I feel like.
No, we talk like every day, but I'm just saying like we're recording on FaceTime, which, you know, we haven't been able to see each other in the studio in a long time.
Yeah.
So it's a good time.
This is true.
It's a good black ass
I'm
time.
appreciative for this. All right, well, let's hop into the things.
Okay, so y'all know we like to kick it off with a little month in review.
Yeah, so for me, I just have mostly isolation things. Just wanted to talk about how Corona has affected you and how it has affected me and what we've been doing since we've been in isolation. You want to go first, or you want me to go first, or
what we've been doing? Why don't you go first and I'll go second?
Okay, I have been laying about. I have been watching lots of trash television, such as Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I have been watching What the Flocka, Waka and Tammy.
So Sydney will be like, you should see this scene, and will send me the entire episode of What the Flock. And I'm like, Sydney, I was going to watch this on the toilet. I'm not going to be on here for 45 minutes.
Who goes to the toilet and don't sit on it for 45 minutes these days? Not because you're constipated.
My legs be falling asleep. I go to stand up and be about to fall over into the tub.
Not that you are constipated or anything, but there's just so many things to do on the toilet nowadays with the advent of technology and whatnot, I feel. So I've been watching Bad Girls Club, binge watching, and I've been reading How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram Kendi, which I personally think that everybody, black, white, purple, pink, young or old, should read that book. And then you should get it for your children and read it to them before they go to sleep. And then you should make them read it when they are old enough to be able to read it themselves.
How to Be an Anti-Racist.
Yep. It is very good. It basically just keeps calling you a racist every chapter. It's like you can be a color racist by being like, someone who delves into colorism, or you can be an ethnicity racist, or you can be a class racist, or you can be like all these different, like each chapter is like a different kind of way that you can either be anti-racist or you can be racist. And all of it has to do with basically not a lot of, like, the overarching theme of the book is blaming policy for the inequities and rather than blaming the people themselves. But it's a really, really good book. I'm reading that, Conscious Capitalism, the Quran, the Bible. Nice. And Thrive, which is a book about plant-based diets. I fell off of that one a little bit, but I was rereading that one, so I got to get back on that. But yeah, just reading, exercising with you and Kira. I started doing an online learning for my like editing software for film. Like it's
nice.
Very basic level stuff, but like it's still good to go back. I feel like for anybody out there that is a creator in any kind of way, even if you've been like, oh, I've been using Premiere, because I've been using Premiere probably since college on and off. But like I'm still like just watching it yesterday. I was like, oh my god, I didn't even know this was in here. Like I didn't know this was a thing. So said it to say it's very cool to go back and find better ways to be more efficient with your editing process.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, but that's it. That's and sleeping. That's it. I have been relaxing. Like I feel like a lot of people are very like, oh my god, I'm bored and this, that, and the third, which is very strange to me only because I'm like, by the time I get up and read all 5 of them books, watch a show or 2, exercise, it's time to go to sleep again. So I don't really get bored. But like I feel like if you do not have the coronavirus, if you don't know anybody who has the coronavirus, if you have, you know, a roof over your head, clothes on your back, you're not worried about getting evicted and all the other crazy shit that some people are going through.
Oof, yeah.
I just, you know, I don't have any reason to complain. Like I personally, how the virus has affected me negatively is that I'm on furlough from my job, so I'm not working, I'm not making any extra money, but I had saved up to move, so I still have money in my savings account that I can live out of, and I live at home, so I don't have major bills. I got 2 bills, and so yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna, to me, and I haven't even been out of work or out of school to the extent of a summer vacation yet. So I'm taking this as, other than not being able to travel and being afraid to go to the grocery store, I'm taking this as, oh, I'm just on summer vacation, like, yeah. But as an adult, with an adult consciousness. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to enjoy myself, because I saw what really made me really try to be very positive about it was I saw this guy who was a nurse, if I'm not mistaken, and he had gotten the coronavirus, but he had bad asthma, so he ended up dying from it. But his sister had sent him, I tried to call him, and then she had screenshotted a text that he had sent her saying like, hey, I can't talk because I can't breathe. But thank you, you know, for trying to reach out and that kind of thing. And I was like, it's stuff like that makes you realize the things you take for granted. Like some of us are like, oh my God, I took being able to see my friends for granted, or I took being able to go to the grocery store or go to the movies, or all these different social things that we were doing, or things where you had to be with other people. But I'm like, imagine not being able to breathe. Yeah. So I'm like, I have no complaints because I can breathe, so I'm good. So yeah, that's isolation for me. This is I know we're probably around day 20 now of isolation for me. So I'm trying
to think. I feel like we started going on isolation in my household, I feel like in the teens of March. Because things started, like, some people were closing down slowly but surely. And I know it's like been like mandatory for like 2 weeks now, going on the 3rd week. But yeah, I feel like I've been in the house a full month already. Or 3 weeks at least, though. But, okay, so for me, isolation, I'm just going to tell y'all about my day. I wake up usually about 7:30 to 8:30, and then I read. I keep 2 books by my bed, so I'm reading 2 different ones. One is called When They Call You a Terrorist, a Black Lives Matter memoir. It's basically an autobiography of one of the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement. It is a very good book. I would highly suggest everyone reads it. Patrice talks a lot about her experience in relation to police brutality and the injustice system, and prison reform, etc. Like her background in it as to why she became a political activist. And then I'm also reading the Chakra Handbook. So it's my 2nd chakra book that I'm reading. Just trying to like brush up on my knowledge of it and expand it even more. So one of the first books I read was called The Chakra for Beginners or something like that. So it basically just told you what your chakras are, how they function, etc. This book literally tells you exercises. It tells you what colors, what meditations, what type of yoga to do, how your sleeping patterns affect your chakra function. So it's more in depth. It's a really, really good book. But those are the 2 books that I'm reading right now. When we first started this podcast, we wanted to do a book of the month kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we read more than one, and sometimes we don't get around to as many as we should. So now we can actually do that because isolation.
Yeah, absolutely.
After I read, I get up, I do my writing and my prompt book, just trying to get my creative juices flowing, my brain flowing. Writing is very important to me. And then I go through my bucket list and my goal list that I wrote on January 1st. I've been reading them every single day. And then I do a Spanish lesson for usually 30 minutes to an hour. And by then, I clean my house again. I clean my house every single day.
That sounds about right.
Swiping. Yeah, Clorox wiping every single doorknob in my house, every single light switch. I Swiffer. However, all the skanks at the Ralphs near my house bought all the Swiffers. I don't know how y'all been cleaning your homes beforehand, but now they're all gone. So I have nothing to mop with right now. Yeah, so I clean, and then I work out with my friends. Hoodoo! So I've been working out with Kira, Morgan, Velvet, Lexus, my sister. Literally a little bit of everybody at different times of the day. And then I walk or run in my neighborhood, just trying to keep my body moving. For the first week of every month, I try to do a fruit fast. So today is my last day of my fruit fast. I plan on eating a vegan burger for breakfast in the morning. I'm not playing no more. I'm starving. Yeah, and then literally, I guess around 6, I'll cook dinner, and then I'll watch a movie or 2, and then I'll go to bed. It's been pretty chill over here.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate isolation. Like some days I get a little bored and in my feelings, but I would say about 80% of the time I'm pretty straight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm glad that I have this time to focus on my eating health, to focus on reading books, to focus on writing, to focus on checking off goals every month.
Yeah.
Every single month I've been able to check off one thing on my bucket list, which is pretty cool for me.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of times people write down their resolutions or make their vision boards and don't look at them again after January. So it's very important to me that I stick to my goals of practicing my Spanish, of reading, of writing, of exercising, etc. So I try to be productive every single day. So I feel like that's the main thing to keep you positive, is that you have to do something productive every day, or it's gonna be very easy to be depressed during this isolation.
Absolutely.
Whether you're introverted or extroverted, it's gonna be very easy to, I feel like, be depressed or be down when you think about, I don't have no income and money for a lot of people. I'm stuck in my house. I don't like to work out. I like to eat junk food and just watch TV. Like, okay, well, you're not doing anything productive then. Like, eating a fatty meal might feel good for those couple minutes that you're actually eating, and then after that, you don't feel good. You feel sluggish. You feel tired. You're insecure about your body, whatever. So I think this time is a really good time to reset your goals. Like, if anything, I just feel like this every single day is January 1 again. Like, I get to be really focused on sticking to whatever goals I have. So yeah, I'm not mad at isolation. I'm kind of here for it. I don't want it to go for like months and months, but you know, a month of isolation, I'm not mad at that.
I honestly could stay here.
You know, if I had incoming money, I could probably stay here.
Yeah, like, I mean, of course, that's the biggest thing. And of course I have other goals and stuff, but just the opportunity, like you said, to just be like, I ain't got nothing necessarily to do, you know what I'm saying? Which, again, it's like you literally were just saying, like, my biggest thing is I literally be like, oh, I got all day. And then it'll literally be 9 o'clock and I'll be like, oh my God, I didn't do anything all day other than watch Bad Girls Club. So, like, I more so have to, like, kind of be, because I saw a post, what really got me, like, on some, like, oh shit, was I saw this post that was like, if you don't get anything done during isolation, then it wasn't that you lack time, it was that you lack discipline. Yeah, and I was
I agree with that 100%.
Well, for real though, because I mean, and even now that I have all this time and I'm seeing again how I'm using it, I'm like, you know, I personally know that, like, because it was the same thing when we were in college. Like, whenever I started reading, like when we were reading the books outside of school, and then you had to read for school. For me, I noticed that I would lag on my schoolwork if I didn't have something to do outside of schoolwork. Like, I need, like, other things to do to keep me going and other goals and stuff. So, like, now, like, with me not having to go to work or having to go to class, I literally just sit here all day. And then, like I said, I look up and it's time to go to sleep. And I'll be like, damn, I didn't do anything. So, I definitely have to do more goal setting as far as, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do today. But, yeah, I'm very thankful for the time. Like, again, if it weren't for a money thing, I could just be like, I'm good. Because imagine.
When I was training, I used to tell my clients, they needed to have a specific, I I don't like to say diet, but like dietary schedule. Like if you're a snacker, or you know that you'll just eat if you're bored or if you have some free time, whatever, be like, no. It like, and fasting too. Fasting is very important to have a dietary schedule, I think. So like at 8 a.m. I eat. At 10 a.m. I have a snack. At 12 o'clock I have my lunch. Like it's important, I think, to have like a schedule, not to like make yourself feel crazy and staring at the clock all day, but it just makes you be productive. If you know that your time to read is from 9 to 10 a.m., then that's what you need to be doing. And that way, that next segment of time, you can be like, this is my time that I watch Bad Girls Club or whatever. Yeah. Like, for me, it's helpful for me to be on a specific schedule. Like, it's specific that I wake up every morning. I don't even get out of bed. I just start reading, highlighting, writing, reading. Sometimes I do my Spanish lesson in bed. I only get up when I'm like ready to go to the bathroom and eat an apple. Like, and you know, I just keep that schedule every day because it helps me stay focused. Like, I know for me, I don't like to work out in the evenings. So if I'm trying to work out with my friends, so for them, it's like late afternoon. For me, it's early afternoon or morning. But I know if I wait till like 5 in the evening to work out, like I'm just going to have no energy. I'm going to have the laziest workout ever. I like to get it done early while, you know, my body's still waking up and stuff like that. So I don't know. If you give yourself like a schedule of things to do, then you're going to make it through isolation. You'll be fine. Like you just... Yeah. You have to be intentional with the things that you do. Absolutely. Don't just lay around and be a bump on the wall, or just consider this a vacation where you don't need to do anything. Be productive. If you're a photographer like any other photographer that I know, then you have things you could be editing. And even if you don't, you could re-edit things and see what you could do better. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I can't go out and shoot anybody, so I can't be productive. Sure you can. You could ask people if you can edit their photos that they post on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, you could do a whole lot of things. Sure. Just stay productive and keep your mind busy. Whatever your goals are, there are little things that you could do to work towards them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's isolation. I feel like we talked about that 18 years.
That was all I have for month in review, because that's all. Oh, that and everybody wash your hands. If you can get your hands on some N95 masks, wear those. If it helps you in any way, wear those cotton masks. I feel like that's more of a mental thing than it is an actual protection thing, according to the diagrams that I've seen. Stay home. Yeah, try to go to the grocery store.
And at the grocery store, stay far away from me.
Man.
So my grocery store has stickers on the floor that's literally like, stay this far away. Like, it's literally like all throughout the store. It's like, please wait here. Like, until you can go up to the avocados, wait right here if there's somebody up there.
I wish they had it like that here. If
I see one more skank walk within my sticker vicinity, I'm going to smack them into the floor.
I wish they had that here. They only have them at the registers here. And every time I go to the grocery store, I'd be like, y'all niggas is way too close to me right now. Like, literally, like, it felt like nothing had changed when I went to the grocery store. Like, when I was inside, they had us waiting far apart outside, but like when you got in there, people were still like basically on top of each other, and I was like, why are y'all even on this aisle while I'm on this aisle? Like, we should
wait at the end of the aisle, please.
But for real, like, so I literally go to the grocery store as sparingly as possible. I go probably like once a week.
I have always been a fan of my personal bubbles, so this is why I like isolation. This is great. Stay the hell away from me. And I will stay the hell away from you.
Right.
This will be wonderful.
No, but really,
I don't have to smell you. I don't have to know what cologne you wearing. Like, if I can do all that, you way too close to me.
Absolutely. So yeah, y'all just listen to what they telling us. Even though what they telling us is changing every day. They went from saying masks don't work to saying y'all everybody need to wear one. And I was like, y'all annoying.
Yeah, we don't know. So just do the best you can. Stay away from people. Wash your hands.
Pretty much
doing that shit anyway.
Basically, just stay home.
Just stay home. Build yourself a bunker if you can. House and stay there.
Yeah.
So I have a month in review before we move on.
All right.
It is about y'all's president.
Oh God.
I don't have one. I don't have a president, so it's about y'all's.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to bring up a discussion about Donald Trump's bitch ass and all the racist shit he said just since Corona alone.
Oh, wonderful.
The other day, there was like a conference, and one of the journalists said, hey, Donald Trump, what can we do about this spike in domestic violence that we've been seeing because people are having to stay home isolated with their perpetrators? So he said, like, I think he started his sentence with, so what can we do about the rise in domestic violence? Donnie interrupts his ass and says, did you say Mexican violence? And he said, no, sir, I said domestic violence. And he's like, oh, okay. Of course, if we, we take it back to his campaign where, he talks about how they're just horrible criminals, these Mexicans, and how they don't need to be in our country, et cetera, et cetera. So, he's just reinforcing that dumbass rhetoric that he has. And then he starts calling the corona or COVID-19 the Chinese virus, and says that it's not racist. He's just being accurate as to where it came from, knowing that that's just going to cause a spike in hate crimes, in which it already has. So the FBI warned as soon as Donald Trump said it, basically, actually before Donald Trump said it, I think, that it was probably going to be a spike in hate crimes against Asian Americans because, ignorance. And since Donald Trump has said that, there's already been a stabbing of 3 Asian family members, including a 2-year-old, a 6-year-old, were amongst the children of that three group unit. Jeez, have been stabbed, and the suspect said that he stabbed them because he thought the family was Chinese and infecting people with coronavirus.
Wow.
So, and not so shocking news, Donald Trump is just extremely irresponsible with the words that he says, and he puts people in danger, and not just, oh, they called me a name at the grocery store, but a family that included a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old was stabbed.
Yeah, that's insane.
I feel like Donald Trump should be charged for that. I'm not playing. And also,
I'm sorry, I had something in my mouth. I agree.
And also I wanted to bring up the fact that he said that, and that, like, when you just look at history alone.
Right.
The Japanese concentration camps.
Yep. Because
people were afraid of Asian Americans after Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
In just those 3 years of the functioning of those camps, it was like 2,000 people that died, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like 2,000 people dying in these camps because of disease and, the inhumane ways that they were kept in these camps. And then, of course, the things that people would say to them and do to them just in the public because people were, quote unquote, afraid of them. It's just really irresponsible.
No, I'm not surprised at all. When I was still working, and I work at a store that sells vitamins, this lady came in, and this man had walked in before her, and then I think he had left, and she came in, and she was like, oh, yeah, excuse me, what did that Asian man get that just came in here? The one that had his face covered up. And her daughter was like, I think he was European. And I was like...
Oh, my God.
And because I don't even remember what I said, because I think I was just like, I knew this was going to happen. Like in my head, I was thinking to myself, but her daughter just, because number one, I'm at work, so of course I can't get in your ass about how you being racist as fuck in this moment. All I can do is ring you up and tell you to have a nice day. But her daughter just kept going, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure he was European. I just thought to myself, like, wow, you really assume that man was a whole nother race because he had his face covered up, as if everybody is not walking around with their faces covered up. And he was European as hell, like, at least quote unquote European looking as hell. Like, he did not, like, even from afar, I did not even for a second think, oh, that's an Asian man. And even if I had, I wouldn't. Like, I literally, every person I saw that was like Asian since it started happening, I just thought to myself, like, wow, I really hope that they're not going through nothing crazy just because this started in an Asian country, like, or Asian place. China is China.
I've seen a lot of comments about Asian people, or even like Janae Mai or something. She has said that she has heard comments, like people have made comments to her, post them on her Instagram. Karuchi has said that people have made comments to her. And it's just like, for one, y'all don't even know who is Chinese. Right. Y'all don't even know the difference.
Because Karuchi is not Chinese for a fact. I know she's not. And I'm pretty sure Jeannie Mai isn't either.
No, she's not. She's Vietnamese.
Okay.
It's just like, okay, so y'all don't even know what these people are, like what they look like or whatever. Y'all just want to be mean to all Asian Americans. Like, we haven't already seen this in history during World War II.
And it's if, like, European people have not started horrible diseces amongst people.
Okay, because if we're going to be mad about disease and genocide, look no further than your local white man.
I'm saying, like, it's just crazy that, again, as soon, me and Kalia were talking. Actually, no, it's too late. I've already said it. And she was basically like, I'm not going to lie. And we both said it. We were like, I'm not going to lie. I was a little disappointed when I found out Trump didn't have coronavirus. And
as was I. I was like, no, I thought he shook a hand.
And I was like, again, I wouldn't wish it on you, but I mean, I was just like, damn, of all the people, Corona, seriously. But anyway, we were talking, and she was like, yeah, because I mean, to think about it, like, at least it would have, like, would have took him out, we wouldn't have to worry about it no more. And I was like, yeah, but think about what they would have done for, like, Asian people. Like, they would have made it a race problem. Like, it would have become a race issue. Like, oh, they would have been like, oh, Chinese people killed Trump. Oh my God, like, da 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 da. And it's like, so it's not even worth it. If any Asian person has to suffer because Trump died from the coronavirus, it's not worth it to me. So
right,
it's okay.
Right.
I'll let this one slide, I guess.
Okay, moving on. Blank while black. Sydney, do you have any news this week?
I don't have anything. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I don't have anything.
When I tell you I have been isolated, I stopped because my mental health started to suffer from reading the news every day. Mm-hmm. Every day, oh, another person died from coronavirus. Another day, oh, a 12-year-old was hooked up to a ventilator. And I'm just like, y'all said we was good if we was young, like freaking out. So I have not looked at anything that was even remotely news related. But I do got a black-owned black support. So I'm just going to be here as your guest until then.
Sydney is my guest today.
Yes.
Also, let me point out real quick about responsibility. People who think that because they're young that nothing's going to happen to them, or that, oh, they said if I'm young and I'm healthy and I'm in my 20s, then I'm good as far as corona is concerned. There are people who've been as young as 24 who have been in intensive care, like ICU, because they got the coronavirus and they didn't have any pre-existing immune disorders or anything like that. So if you think you're safe because you are, say, 24 years old or whatever, so you can have kickbacks and parties and have all your friends come over and all that, that is not only ignorant, it's irresponsible. And I feel like we should all know this. And speaking as someone who is in her 20s, who is relatively healthy, I don't have any diseases or disorders that I'm aware of, I would not be putting myself in harm's way to be in the ICU.
Right, okay.
For any reason, because for one, I don't want to be sick or feel sick or have to be in a hospital and be exposed to more people who might have other things that I don't want to contract. Mm-hmm. But also because the hospital is motherfucking expensive.
Right. And to me, too, I think it's also irresponsible because the hospitals are not, they keep saying, oh, 2 weeks from now, we're not going to have no more supplies at this hospital and that hospital and da-da-da-da. It's like, I don't want to, and then hearing people say shit like, yeah, save the ventilators for the young people because we can actually save their lives. It's like, no, I'm good. I think I'd rather just stay my young, healthy, quote unquote, ass at home, so that way if somebody who is older gets it, they can have the ventilator
also,
mask or ventilator.
If you did get it and you think, oh, I can survive because I'm young and healthy, etc. So when you do have to go to the hospital or the doctor or whoever, because whether you get it and you have major symptoms or minor symptoms, you're going to have to go to a doctor. You want to subject that person to take it home to their families.
Right.
Who also have children and babies and maybe even have parents that live with them. So they have grandparents and people of older ages or etc. Like, that's just so irresponsible. Yeah. It's so irresponsible. Please stop doing dumbass shit, y'all. If you are uncomfortable being by yourself, maybe you just need to take an internal look. Maybe you don't like yourself, and that should be something you should be working on during COVID. Because if you don't like yourself and you don't want to hang out with you by yourself, maybe nobody else wants to hang out with you either. You need to get it together and stop putting people in danger because you want to have fun or have a game night or play drinking games.
And plus, to me, I think that, again, for the people who don't get this virus, there's something beautiful to be learned about this. Like, I really want to hope that the world is going to be a kinder place when this is all over. Like, I'm hoping people will be like, oh my God, I get to see my friends again. Oh my God, I get to go to the movies and go shopping without thinking I got to cover myself in a whole trash bag. Like, this is stuff that I'm like, it's like every time something like this happens to me, like when I do get sick and I can't breathe out my nose and I'm aggravated as hell, I'll be like, you know what? I just needed to be reminded of how blessed I am to be able to breathe out my nose. So it's cool. I'm going to just suffer through this real quick and it's going to be over. So I'm like, okay, cool. We in isolation. That means sit your ass at home. And when it's time to see your friends again, I'm going to run up on all y'all like Whoopi Goldberg did on Angela Bassett.
I see you post that.
And still got her groove back. That's a whole mood. So, yeah, just stay home, y'all.
Whew, okay, yeah, because y'all been stressing me out. So let's move on. Blank while black. So for this one, I wanted to take us back a little ways. From 1946 to 1948. The United States sponsored a medical study conducted in Guatemala. In that study, 700 men and women, prisoners, soldiers, mental patients, etc., were intentionally infected with syphilis, and hundreds of more, because they were infected, were exposed to sexual transmitted diseases and other diseases and sicknesses because they were already infected with syphilis. This was without their knowledge or consent. So the purpose of the study was to determine whether penicillin could prevent or cure syphilis. Some of the people who got infected never received medical treatment at all. So in 2010, Barack Obama apologized for the United States' role in that unethical behavior of the study. So the study was conducted by a man named, or one of the people that was officiating, was Dr. John Cutler, who then went on to become a lead researcher in the Tuskegee experiments. So if we don't know what the Tuskegee experiments are, that was 600 people who were in a study. 399 of them already had syphilis. 201 of them did not. They were supposed to be the control group. So during this study, which was supposed to last 4 months, and it ended up lasting into the 70s, which was 40 years, these people were told they were being treated for their diseases, that if they were in the study, that they would get free medical care, free medical exams, food, etc. And of those 399 people that were infected never even got treatment. So when they said later on that penicillin could help, they never even gave it to those people. So those people then went home and gave it to their spouses, gave it to their children. And so it wasn't until Clinton who apologized for their role in that, and then they finally got like pay for their families and for their offspring, like some money, whatever. So basically treating people of color as lab rats.
Yep.
Now, I bring up this story, hopefully a lot of you already knew this story anyway, but I brought it up to talk about the 2 French doctors who were on live TV and said that they should start doing testing in Africa because Africa doesn't have access to medical care and face masks, so they want to test for the coronavirus treatments there and use those beautiful Black people as their guinea pigs. So obviously we're just seeing history repeat itself. Neither one of the doctors were African. And to my understanding, if you want to test, you should test on yourself because you're the only one who knows what you're testing for. You're not giving these people consent. You're not asking their permission. You're not telling them what all will be involved. You just want to go around poking people. So in the interview, one of the doctors is saying that they want to test or do a trial treatment in Europe and in Australia. The head of intensive care at Cochrane Hospital in Paris said, if I can be provocative, shouldn't we be doing this study in Africa where there are no masks, no treatments, and no resuscitation? We should also be doing these studies in prostitutes and try things because we know that they are highly exposed and they do not protect themselves. The Dr. Locke responded, you're right. We are in the process of thinking about a study in parallel in Africa.
Oh, hell no.
So a lot of people are obviously outraged and condemning what these 2 doctors have said, and have said not just in the closed doors of their labs. They said it on live TV, like it's just no big deal. Shouldn't we test on Africans? Well, you're not African, so why don't you just keep your mouth shut and maybe focus your attention elsewhere? Because I don't know why Black people have to be the subject of all your trials and studies. Like why we have to be the guinea pigs because you can dangle free medical care over our head or free meals over our head. So obviously a lot of people are mad about that. The World Health Organization has already come out and been like, bitch, y'all motherfucking tried it. Nobody is going over there testing on Africans. Y'all got us fucked up. And so then Dr. Amira, who's the one who made the initial comment, said he apologized through a statement released by his employer. So not even out of his own lips. But he said, I want to present my apologies to those who were hurt, shocked, and felt insulted by the remarks that I clumsily expressed.
Y'all always clumsily saying some shit. I'm so tired of, oh, that was an accident. No. You're racist. That's just it. Like, y'all aren't African.
You could just come out and say, hey, remember Guatemala? Hey, remember Tuskegee? I don't like black people, and I've seen that in the past we can test on their stupid black bodies. Why don't you just say that? Because that would make more sense to me than coming out being like, oh, it was a clumsy mistake. No, you're clumsy when you stutter or when you trip over a word. You didn't do that.
You said that shit with your chest.
You said what you said.
With your chest.
You said, right. With all your chest hair. You said that you want to test on black people because we don't have you want to test on Africans specifically because they don't have treatments, face masks, or resuscitation. And you want to test on prostitutes because they're just sluts who expose themselves to disease anyway, and they won't even know if we shoot them up with some shit that they never had in the first place.
Right. It's just very sad. And all I can think about now, especially after, and still reading How to Be an Anti-Racist is, this is the most racist shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, y'all, just out of nowhere, not in all of the places in the world that are full of white folk. And you gonna say, we should test in Africa. What?
And you know what? I know Native Americans were like, bitch, y'all gonna take y'all white disease-filled bodies over to Africa and worry about something that... So let me put into perspective for y'all. Africa has 54 countries. Mm-hmm. When I checked last night, less than 24 hours ago, there were still less than 10,000 cases. Matter of fact, it was like in 8,000 cases that were reported. Mm-hmm. Granted, I know every inch of every country was not going to be surveyed, but only 8,000 and some reported cases of coronavirus in 54 countries of Africa. In our one country of the good old United States of America, there are over 357,000 cases in our one country.
Mm-hmm. And one of my friends told me that because of our slow ass response to the virus, that he said 60 to 70% of Americans are going to get the coronavirus. And y'all said... I wouldn't be
surprised if it was higher. I wouldn't.
And y'all said, yeah, let's go over to Africa and test.
And they done said that animals are now, like, exhibiting coronavirus. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to tell y'all right now. If the animals got it, we all going to die. And I'm going to tell you that because how can you control where these little birds are flying? They fly hundreds of miles a day. And cockroaches and spiders and dogs and cats and all that kind of shit. You think none of them animals is gonna breathe over you or shit over your car or your house or something? It's a wrap. Okay, so everybody talking about hey, stock prices are down, so if you can afford to buy it, you should buy it. We're gonna be millionaires. First of all, that's not how you're gonna become a millionaire. Second of all, that shit gonna crash right the fuck back down. So job bless. Good luck with that, people.
Wow, yeah, that's sickening.
Yeah, so coronavirus has stressed me to fucking no
end.
And
this is why
I was just so disgusted by them fucking Frenchmen, like, just with all the ball sack in the world on live TV.
That's why I haven't watched anything or read anything. I'm like, nope, I'm good. Heard it's bad out there. I'm gonna stay my ass in the house. Thank you very much.
Heard it's rough. I will be in here.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to catch me nowhere but Ralph's and a possible Walmart if I have my arm twisted behind my back and I can't find no Swiffers nowhere.
Right.
Because then I'm going to have to go to hell, which is Walmart Supercenter.
All right. Did you have any more Blank While Black?
No, that's it. I don't feel like talking about the other one. I'm just going to be even more mad.
Okay. Sounds About White? Is it...
Sydney, that's not the name of the segment.
I'm sorry.
It sounds about...
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. Let me put some respect on the name.
Lots of H's.
Let me put some respect on the name.
You're right. Okay, so Sounds About White. Sydney, I don't know if you saw this, but hopefully you did.
I probably didn't.
Damn it. So Matt Pecora is the boyfriend of Christina Milian. And, damn it, you didn't see it?
I wouldn't know a thing.
Sorry, citizen man. So he is a white man from France. Listen. Between France and Texas, I don't know what the hell y'all got going on. White man from France. He is a singer-songwriter. He met Christina Milian in 2017, and this year, I think in January, they just welcomed a baby together. Now, Christina Milian has I'll lie if I even try to guess her name, but I want to say like a 10-year-old child with the artist and producer The Dream. Mm-hmm. She is of Cuban descent, and The Dream is black, so their daughter is pretty black. And last week, Matt Pecora took to his Snapchat or Insta story, what have you, posted a video of her daughter's hair, and her hair was in Bantu knots. And he posted a video laughing in the background, and he had across the front of the video were emojis of a microbe and like a laughing face emoji or something like that. Basically making fun of her hairstyle, saying that it looks like this disease organism. So a lot of people took that as, oh, wow, he's comparing this little black girl's hairstyle to a disease or a virus in the wake of a pandemic. What a fucking idiot. What a racist idiot. Now, a lot of people were commenting on it like, oh my God, stretch before you reach, people. It's just a joke. He's allowed to joke with his stepdaughter, blah, 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 blah. Then he took to Instagram like the next day or so and posted like a series of videos that he's recorded, I guess, over a week or so, I'm not sure, of him dropping her daughter off at school and saying, it's going to be a great day. Have a great day. Love you. Blah, blah, blah. You're beautiful. Whatever. So whether he took those before he made the first video or like they were just been sitting in his phone. Oh, look at me. I inspire her every day. I call her beautiful every day. You guys just relax. I don't know. But that was the only quote unquote statement that he or Christina Milian have said about it. Now, I am team probably punch that motherfucker in the throat because he got me fucked up. But this is why I say that I have no desire to date outside my race. Because two things. If it was a joke, oh, I joke with her, she's my stepdaughter, I could do whatever. First of all, Mr. White Man, I guess no one has ever told you that it's not okay to make fun of black girls' hair. Right. Which is fine. So this is my argument. Like, maybe he doesn't know how incredibly insensitive and rude and racist it is. I'm not saying that I think he's a racist. He don't like black people. I think that he probably does love this little girl. But that doesn't make what he said any more appropriate, or if that's a joke between you and her or whatever. Like, think about all the things that you've been said to as a child, like even by your own people about your hair as a black woman. Like, people make comments about black hair all the time, even within your own family. But if you think I want to hear it from a white person who already tries to tell me all the time that my beauty is not their standard level of beauty, and it's not going to be beautiful, it's not going to be nice to have, it's not going to be pretty to have big lips until a white woman goes and fills hers up, or until a white woman wears braids and calls them boxer braids and your braids are just unprofessional and tacky. I don't need no white person commenting on my black child's hair. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, at the very least, I would have had a strong talking to with him. But I wouldn't have said, oh, baby, you were just joking. Everybody knows you were just joking. Because you don't know what that little girl was thinking.
True. Now,
not only that, but you joked about it and then you put it on the internet.
Would you have felt better if he were black?
I don't like the idea of anybody who's like, you're not my dad. Like, I just met you 3 years ago, Jack. What the fuck is you doing? Like, you making fun of my hair. But my point was not that, oh, black people make fun of black people's hair too. Like, yeah, no, I get that. Like, my hair's been made fun of by black people and white people. I'm not saying that black people don't.
No, I wasn't saying that that's what you were saying. I was saying that would you have felt better about it, or would you feel like it wasn't as bad if he would have been black?
I would have thought it was wrong because, for one, he's not her father. He just met the little girl. Whether he loves her or not, it's not your dad. Second of all, you put it on the internet while you're making fun of a child that's not yours. To me, that's incredibly tacky and inappropriate. But with you being a white man making fun of a little black girl's hair because you don't understand her hairstyle, you don't know why she's wearing Bantu knots. It's not like you did her hairstyle, so I don't know why you give a fuck about what her hair looks like. But the fact that you want to put it on Snapchat or wherever for the public to see and then have it compared to a disease. Like, my hair looks like a disease to you? What?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was tacky and disgusting. And I was like, see, this is why it's not that I don't want to know and understand and experience other cultures, but I have no energy for explaining to a white person why it's inappropriate to talk about my daughter's hair.
You know, it's interesting because for some reason this isn't bothering me, but I remember I was wearing my hair in those, I call them love knots. I've always said that Bantu knots were like, you plan on taking them down, and love knots are, no, this is the style that I'm wearing today, if that makes sense. That's how I've always differentiated in my head. But that was when you remember when I had those, like my hair was shaved on the sides, but I still had hair in the middle, and I was wearing those.
Yeah, no, it was fire. I actually have the picture in my phone somewhere.
Okay. So, and I was wearing it, and one of my friends said that one of his friends said that whenever he sees black girls wearing it, it reminds him of Darth Vader. Because apparently Darth Vader be wearing love knots, I guess. And I remember at the time I was like, I can't stand y'all hoes. Like, I'm not gonna say the N-word, but that's what I said in my head. Like, y'all black boys that got negative shit to say about black women's hair or anything else. So I feel like this is the same category of shit. It's just the person just happens to be white. So I don't know why this isn't bothering me. I guess because in my head I'm like, oh no, he didn't mean any harm. But I guess it doesn't matter if you mean any harm. The problem is that you cause harm. So I don't know.
Right. That's my take on it, is that it doesn't matter if it was a joke or not, because there are racist jokes every day.
True.
Matter of fact, most of them probably are racist, because you're like, oh, it's got a hint of truth to it, so it is funny. Like, that's the whole point of a joke, is for it to have a hint of truth, just enough truth for it to be like, damn, that's fucked up, but it's funny because it's true. It's like, well, you talking about it was just a joke. That doesn't mean anything. I could joke with somebody about them being fat, but that doesn't mean it's just a joke. They might really be fat. Like, that's still going to be hurtful. That's still going to be offensive. So I don't care if you were trying to joke. For one, you tried to publicly humiliate or laugh at a child, which was lame enough, especially because it's supposed to be your stepdaughter. I don't know. It's just so, there's a lot of those things that irritates my spirit and it makes me mad. But I'm like, honestly, this is just some white shit. Like, he probably genuinely doesn't know what he did wrong or know why it's offensive to make fun of little black girl's hair any more than it is a little white girl's hair. But I'm like, well, you as a black man, as a white man, should not be making fun of no little black girl's hair.
I understand where you're coming from. I don't know. I feel indifferent. I gotta see it and watch it and take it in, I guess. I don't know why I don't know why it doesn't bother me as much as that Darth Vader comment. I don't know why. I guess because it's her
right,
dad.
but that's what bothered you, and you don't know what bothered her or what bothered the next black woman or the other black women who were under the comments, you know, mad or hurt or defensive. What comments or jokes have been made about them from white people or from men in their lives or whatever that's like, okay, like you said, it doesn't matter if you meant to be hurtful or meant it as a joke. It matters the interpretation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Even if that little girl wasn't offended, it's like, well, if you're comparing Bantu knots to this disease, and I, as a black woman, you know, I wear Bantu knots all the time, so you saying I look like a disease, like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, I definitely get it. I guess I'm just trying to figure out why it's not hitting me with this much rage. Maybe I just don't have anything. I don't have no rage left.
You know, hey, you can be all mad it out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, it's weird because I'm sitting here trying to figure out why I'm not as bothered by hair being compared to a disease as I was being compared to Darth Vader. Yeah, like, I'm like, why is this not hitting me? Like, I don't.
It's a whole pandemic. People are literally dying. You done said my hair look like a goddamn virus. Slap the shit out your ass. I don't give a fuck if you tell me to have a great day on the way to school. Slap the shit out of you.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, people, we are going to change paces here. And we are going to get a little crazy.
Yeah, you should just Cabbage Patched. Know that she just Cabbage Patched.
We are moving on to sex expectations, which we all know is a grand time. So for sex expectations this week, we are doing a little game that I'm going to change the title of, and I'm going to tell you why, and then I'm going to tell you.
Oh,
I have to change the title of this game because I don't want to condone or pretend like I advocate for killing anyone, no matter how nasty they are.
Okay.
So I'm going to call this game Fuck, Marry, Launch into Outer Space.
Okay. Why are you like this?
I don't want to say actually kill people.
I'm gonna put that as. I thought I was gonna put the title as this. This is a. You know how the producer come on a track and be like, this is a. What is it? This is a. Damn it. I forgot what they say, but this is an isolation podcast. I was gonna do that, but now I'm gonna name it. Now I'm gonna name it "Fuck, Mary, Launching to Outer Space."
Wonderful. Okay, so Sydney, fuck, Mary, launch into outer space. Lil Pump, Tekashi, Trippie Redd.
The only reason why I'm gonna be able to answer this so fast is because I've heard it before. And what's what Lil Pump, Tekashi, and who?
Trippie Redd.
Trippie Redd, like the pictures that pop up of him when you first look him up are they're scary. But Tekashi,
I've never actually Googled him. I know what he looks like because I've seen him on stuff, but I've never Googled his pictures.
I'm launching Tekashi into outer space because he says the N-word and doesn't seem to understand why that's a problem. And literally his response was, ain't nobody gonna beat my ass. And I was like, all I can think of when people say shit like that is Nia Long in Friday when she says, you lucky I'm not a man or else I whip your ass myself. That's honestly a whole mood. Because when people,
I will be fluid. So some days I might be a man and I might have to whip your ass.
I feel like as soon as I heard him say that, I was like, bro, you better be glad I ain't no dude. Because if I was, I'd come to that studio right now and whip your ass. Who gonna whip my ass? Me.
That's right.
So I'm launching Tekashi into outer space because that, and he a snitch. I can't, like, I'm not even.
Did you see? No, so he just got out of jail like 2 days ago. And on the Shade Room, they posted some mayor of somewhere saying, basically, if you know anybody that's like going outside and doing non-essential things or something, like, we'll pay you to turn them in. And this motherfucker gonna comment on the Shade Room and be like, I got your back or some shit like that. Like, he was basically like, hey, I'll snitch, whatever. And I was like, this is not funny. We don't like you. This is not funny.
And the sad part is people do like him. Like,
no, I'm disgusted. Like, people are like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, I'm not even going to pretend like he, because I don't think that's funny.
It's not. Like, I'm
not even like, oh, don't snitch on anyone anytime. I'm not no gangster. I ain't no thug. Like, if somebody shoots my family member and I know who did it, if I can't kill him myself, I'm definitely telling on you. If somebody hits my bumper, I'm calling the police because we're going to get a report and I'm going to get my money. You going to run me my ducats. Mm-hmm. That's not the same thing that what he did. So,
yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't think it's funny. Like, if you think you a gangster, then you need to go by some gangster code and not snitch.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm extra like, no, I can't stand you. And again, same thing, like literally what you just said, I'm also not about these street rules and whatnot. Long story short, there's a girl on Atlanta Love and Hip Hop, and she needed her ex-husband to testify that she did not beat this woman ass or else she was going to go to jail for a year for beating this woman ass. And he was like, nah, I said I would never go inside another courtroom again. I ain't no snitch. I'm the mother of your children and you're gonna let me go to prison because you're not a snitch? You are dedicated to the street code but not the mother of your children? Like, that's certain shit like that.
See, y'all gotta watch who y'all having these babies.
Okay. And so shit like that, that's why I draw the line at, I ain't no snitch. Just like, no, that's so like with Tekashi, I'm like, as far as what I've heard about him and what he was doing, his snitching was on a whole nother level of snitchery, and which is why I'm like, you can go into outer space. So Tekashi is
you
out
bringing
here.
up people that ain't got shit to do with shit for kicks and giggles, and then saying it's because you worry about the safety of your family. You didn't worry about the safety of your family when you was trying to have a big dick out here talking all that big shit. You weren't worried about their safety then. Right.
So, yeah, not a fan. He can go into outer space.
Anyway, who you fucking sitting
I guess I have to marry Lil Pump because Trippie Redd. I actually don't want to have sex with Trippie Redd either because this just looks devilish on Google when you look him up. So
Trippie Redd, if y'all don't know who if obviously you can just Google him, but he looks like a light-skinned black child version of Riff Raff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he looks like a light-skinned black child version of Chucky.
Oh, you know what? That too. Like a Chucky doll and a Riff Raff had a baby that has some sort of melanin. Yeah, that's what you look like.
Yeah, he looks...
Do you have any for me? Because I have quite a few for you.
So yeah. Oh yeah, my favorite thing is always the men of Love and Hip Hop. That's always where I like to start. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay. So you got Jock,
okay,
Stevie J, I feel like you don't know who Scrap De Leon is.
I seen like a clip of him, I think, talking to Monique. No. Is that right? Monique? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Monique. So you seen him since he got out of jail?
I guess.
Did he have short hair?
I Love and Hip Hop.
Did he have short hair?
Yeah, and like maybe a goatee or something, or a beard.
Oh, no. Look it up, girl.
But I'm saying, like, I wouldn't know who he is, like, personality-wise, so I don't know if that'd be a good one.
So I guess I didn't want to give you Lil Scrappy because I feel like that's too easy.
Yeah, it is.
I guess Lil Scrappy then, because you don't know nothing about Scrap De Leon.
Okay, so I am going to launch Jock into outer space. I will fuck Stevie J because he got a lot of kids, so I guess he got a good dick, I guess. And then I would marry Lil Scrappy because I had a crush on him back in the day.
Yeah, he's cute.
He kind of thick. He a thick dude.
Yeah.
I like him thick sometimes.
Okay. All right. Well, that was easy.
No. We are not done. It's about to get intense.
No, I mean, that was easy for you. I knew it was about to get
yeah.
intense. It's going to be a whole bunch of motherfuckers I don't even know.
What, now?
Yeah.
No. You know everybody else.
Okay.
R. Kelly, Christopher Maurice Brown,
Oh.
and Jaden Smith. Well, I know who you're going to marry. Well,
I am absolutely 100% unequivocally marrying at any moment, drop of a hat with no audience and no witnesses and all the witnesses at the courthouse, no courthouse, marrying Jada.
Wonderful. Now, who are we fucking and who are we launching into outer space?
I love Jaden Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I would like.
Oh, that was a suggestion from my followers, by the way.
Oh, tell your followers I love them because they know I love Jaden Smith. It's
literally that I was like, ooh, that's a good one.
Is Shia LaBeouf on any of these lists?
No, I'm sorry, he's not.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, I would like to say one more time that I would like to marry Jaden Smith and marry into the Smith family so that his mom and his dad are now.
Hell yeah, because if you could just go ahead and do that, that would be great. Because I would also like to be in that family, and if you marry, then I'm,
Yeah, you are also your sister-in-law. Is that how that works?
I'm like, excuse me, can I blotch your sweat and your oiliness on the red table talk, please? Just let me do anything for you, please.
And I guess I would like to launch Christopher and R. Kelly into outer space, but I don't think I have that option. Mm-hmm. Y'all know Chris Brown don't like dark-skinned girls, so that makes me want to launch him into outer space.
And R. Kelly likes all girls under the age of 12. So.
And Chris Brown don't like us with our he only like the ones with good hair. That's also his shit too. So, but to protect little black girls everywhere, I guess I will launch R. Kelly into outer space because I can't listen to his music anymore anyway. So, and I guess I'm not sad to have sex with Chris Brown, except for the fact that I wouldn't have sex with no artist because when I be hearing them say that such and such is pregnant by this artist, I'm like, y'all was out here having sex with girls with no condoms on.
Right.
Random girls you don't know. That is so disgusting to me. So why anybody has any fantasies of sleeping with anybody that's famous when they hear that they getting random motherfuckers pregnant? I'm like, I'm good. Y'all sound like y'all got walking diseases.
They just be out here raw dogging just about anybody.
Yeah,
literally
disgusting.
Anybody.
I don't care what you look like, how fine you are. You still putting on. Actually, put on most. I remember when I took sex ed in middle school. I used to think before I took sex ed, I used to think the more condoms that you put on, the more protected you were and the safer you are. So say that to say, if I still believe that to be true, put on multiple condoms when y'all having sex with these famous people. Oof. And wrap them up in saran wrap.
Actually, let me just do the spray Lysol on your whole body. Oof.
Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, I guess I'm having sex with Chris because, I got to protect little black girls everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any more?
I'm sure I can come up with some.
Okay, go ahead. I have 2 more for you.
Let me give you a good one. Ooh, Will Smith.
Oh, he was on a list for you. Okay.
Jamie Foxx.
Okay.
Or The Rock.
Okay. I'm marrying Will. That's that on that.
You know what's funny?
I'm gonna marry Will.
What's funny is me and Andy and Kira was doing this on the phone, and Kira said that I think the first thing she said was that she would have sex with Will Smith, and I was like, ew. and they were like, why are you doing that? And I was like, he's such a beautiful person that I can't even think of him sexually. Like, I don't want to have sex with Will.
Oh no, when he got those roles where his body got to be nice, like I Am Legend and shit, I was like, oh yeah.
You know, he's fine. He's a very attractive man, but like he's like, it's like if has anyone ever reached a level in their consciousness where all you can think of them is like as a spirit and like a brain. Like I'm like, he's like a man god.
No, I definitely know what you're saying. I mean, definitely do. Because I don't look at Will like, oh my god, he's so fine. I don't look at him like that, but he is. But I don't look at him like that. I would definitely 100% marry him. Mm-hmm. I would marry Jada as well. I would also marry Jaden. I would also marry Trey. I would also, is Willow old enough yet? I would probably marry her too. I would just love their whole family. I would marry Gammy. I'd marry them all.
She said any way to get into the family, huh?
I would have sex with The Rock.
You were gonna launch Jamie Foxx into outer space?
I mean, yeah.
Why?
Because out of the other options, I'm not gonna marry him because I'm marrying Will. And so sex, I don't really care to have sex with Jamie Foxx. No. Mm-mm. Are you upset?
So rude.
Okay, Sydney. You're about to get so mad at me. You know what? I'll do this one first because I'm going to end you off on a sour taste in your mouth.
Okay.
Oh, you're about to be so mad. Okay. Martin Luther King Jr. Tupac. And Malcolm X. That was also from the followers. Oh, they are so good to us. I love
that. Is so
much.
Gross. How dare y'all make me even think of any of these men other than Tupac in sexual ways? They're such men of God. I'm not having sex with any of them. I refuse to answer that. So,
well, you have other options. So who you launching in outer space is what I want to know. This is so good. This is so good. I think Mel told me that one. I was like, oh, girl, that's
Well, shout out to Mel because this is actually a very good one. I'm asking it back too, by the way.
No, you're not. You can't do that.
No,
That's
am.
illegal. No.
Oh my God. I guess. Oh. I'm not having sex with any of them. Period. That's just on God.
You have to.
No, I'm not because that's like I'm not about to go to hell for no game. I feel like talking about these.
Sydney, no, you have to answer.
I feel like talking about these men in sexual ways is asking to have his place, asking to have a home in the fire.
Sydney, only one of them has to be sexual. You don't have to have sex with your husband.
Well, then I guess I gotta have sex with Tupac. The only way to save my soul.
Okay.
Which makes me sad because I want to marry him.
Well, Tupac strikes me as a polygamist. Gosh, dang, I can't talk today. Of a polygamist. Like, I feel like if he was in 2020, he would be like, yeah, I'm down with polygamy.
Okay. Well, you know he had a fiance when he got killed, right?
I did not know that.
Nobody knows. I didn't know either. And I was like, okay, nobody had to have known this because of all the shit about Tupac that I feel like I know, which is not a whole lot, of course. But I was like, he had a fucking fiance. But yeah, he definitely did. But anyway.
That's interesting.
I know, right? But yeah, so I guess I'm going to have sex with Tupac because he's the only one that I could have sex with and not go to hell immediately. Like, I feel like if you even try to take your clothes off in front of Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, you're going to burst into flame.
They both have like 5 kids.
But they have wives and they're men of clergy.
Okay, but they're hypothetically...
I'm not going to hell for y'all.
They're hypothetically single.
I'm not going to hell for y'all.
Okay.
So then I guess I'm definitely marrying Malcolm X or Martin Luther King old cheating ass. I'm not doing that to myself, so...
Okay. So you want him in outer space?
Because he cheated on Coretta.
Wow, Sydney is launching a civil rights activist in outer space.
If y'all thought I was going to launch Tupac in outer space, y'all got me fucked up. But yeah, let me make this plainly clear. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that Malcolm X is my father. I have read almost like 7 or 8 books, I think, about Malcolm X to date. Mm-hmm. I love him.
So you're going to marry your father?
My whole heart. Yeah, incest.
Yeah, incest.
And
okay.
Martin Luther King, the only reason why I'm launching Martin Luther King into outer space is because I have not read the Radical King book yet, which I'm sure I would love him a lot more after I did. And he cheated on his wife with white women.
Yeah. Would it make it better if they were black? No, it would make it better if you were black.
Oh, you've seen that movie before?
Stop it. Why do you do me like that? I announced in my
Did you watch Players Club yet?
No.
You gotta watch it.
Okay, I will. I announced to my Instagram last night that I started watching Scarface, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, for the first time!"
Oh, I've never seen it either.
I would like y'all to know that the movie is very fucking boring. I didn't even finish it because it's like 18 hours long.
That's what you said.
Like,
you know what? I don't trust you because that's what you said about Temptations, and I'd be damn. That movie is fire.
I mean, but that movie is less boring than Scarface. It's an incredibly boring movie, but I've only seen like, I think I watched like 2.5 hours, and I swear to God, that shit said I had an hour and a half more to go, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna try this again at another date. But yeah, I just now started watching that, and the update so far is that it's boring to me, so I don't understand the hype and why all black people love that movie.
Okay, well, I got it. What is it on?
I don't know if it's on Amazon. Somebody actually gave me the DVD like 3-4 years ago. They were like, "You never seen this?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Here, you can have my copy." And I was like, "No, it's okay. I don't want to. I literally couldn't care less." "No, you have to watch it." I'm like, I'm not going to watch it even if you give it to me. And he still gave it to me. I haven't watched it.
Oh wow, you're trash. You should send it to me through the mail because I need to watch it. But if it's on the line, if it's online, I'll watch it. Okay.
Yeah,
so Kodak Black. Oh gosh. Blueface with his offbeat ass.
Oh God.
Which I don't even know what he looks like. Or actually, and what's that other NBA young boy?
Oh my gosh, 2 of those were on a list for you. Okay. Okay, so say them again.
Kodak Black, who I feel like I already know what you're about to do. Blueface. And NBA Youngboy.
Oh my God. You know what? And this is why your last one is about to be fucking awful as shit. Because you didn't have to do this.
Okay, neither did you asking me if I want to have sex with Martin Luther King. Ew.
That was my followers. I wasn't going to do you like this. Okay.
Blueface is not ugly, though. With all these tattoos on his face.
But he cracked the egg on his mama's head.
Oh, was that him?
Yes. These niggas have no respect. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I'm sure you haven't seen it, but Youngboy NBA or NBA Youngboy or whatever the fuck that boy's name's supposed to be, and Kodak have been going back and forth for like days now.
About what?
I don't.
It's a virus out here killing people. What y'all arguing about?
His girlfriend is Youngboy's girlfriend is Floyd Mayweather's daughter. And she apparently just stabbed somebody, like one of his exes, or I don't know, a girl who looked at him. I don't fucking know, but she just stabbed somebody. So she went to jail. And I guess Kodak made a comment about it. So now they've been going back and forth on the internet, like how they basically want to kill each other and whatever. And it's just really annoying. God, they're so stupid. So out of those 3, who would I fuck? I guess I would. I'm simply gonna have to launch Kodak in outer space.
Yeah, I thought that was a given.
The world would be a better place if he was in outer space. So out of the other 2,
oh my God,
I guess I would have to fuck. Oh God, you know what? I would not be able to fuck Blueface because if he raps off beat, I can only imagine what the sex is like. So I guess I would fuck Youngboy because he got a lot of kids, so he must know what he's doing, I guess. And then I would marry Blueface because he already got 2 girlfriends, so I feel like he wouldn't bother me that much. Like, he'd probably just leave me alone, and that would be just fine with me.
He has 2 girlfriends?
Yeah, he has 2 girlfriends. At least 2. So I feel like if I married him and he had his girlfriends, he would leave me be. I could do what I want, and then I could, have a boyfriend on the side.
Okay. I understand that. Cool. Mm-hmm. All right,
Sydney, last one. I gotta mix it up a little, so there's a girl in this one.
Somebody in your one of your followers gave me a girl to choose from?
No, but they did give me one of these people, and I was like, dang, who else can I put in that category? Because I try to keep it similar, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Tupac. I'm like activists. R. Kelly, Chris Brown, Jaden, artists. Lil Pump, Tekashi, Trippie Redd, ugly ass, weird looking, whitish people. I try to keep the categories the same. So this is a political category.
Okay.
Donald Trump.
Oh hell no.
That white bitch though, nobody knows her actual name. Tammy.
Tomi Lahren.
Yeah, that bitch. See, we don't know her name. And J. Edgar Hoover.
Oh God.
Sydney is sweating.
Cause I literally was like, oh, I'm definitely launching Donald Trump into outer space. And then you said J. Edgar Hoover. I'm like, what? Cause it's like, okay, launch J. Edgar Hoover into outer space. We had the Black Panthers, and God only knows where the Black community would be if they had not have been trampled on.
This is so good. This is so good.
Launch Donald Trump into outer space, and I mean, other than, I guess I'm launching J. Edgar Hoover into outer space. I feel like he did more fucking damage so far. Mm-hmm.
This is too good.
I do not want to have sex with Donald Trump, but I don't want to marry him either. Because it's like, you got to think about, like, sex is a temporary thing. Marriage is forever. And I just feel like he would get on my nerves if I marry him. But damn, so would Tomi Lahren. So you know what?
They're just awful people.
I feel like Tomi Lahren would talk more than Donald Trump, though. Like, I feel like Donald Trump would shut the fuck up eventually. Like, Tomi Lahren,
he likes to tweet a lot, so maybe he won't even talk to you much.
That's what I'm saying. But I feel like Tomi Lahren would constantly be in my ear, like, all the time. Like, if she see me reading a black book, she gonna have some shit to say.
Yeah, with her stupid ass.
So I guess I would have to. I guess I gotta marry Donald Trump, and I guess I gotta have sex with Tomi Lahren. Ew. That was horrifying.
Lit. Hey, at least you'll have access to billions of dollars if you marry Donald Trump. You would just have access to being a fucking Noid if you married Tommy.
But that's the thing. Like, if I, like, I forgot about the money. Like, if I got Donald Trump money, I would never have to see his ass. Every time I even thought he got close to me, like on the episode of That's So Raven when Bianca was her name Bianca? What her name Bianca? Her arch enemy, Adrienne Bailon? Her name was Bianca, right?
Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
On That's So Raven, when she had that arch enemy, her name was Bianca, but it was played by Adrienne Bailon.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Bianca. I think that's right.
But yeah, like, there was an episode where she was chasing after her, and Corey had these little devices on them so he could see every time she got close. Every time Donald Trump even got close to me, I would take a flight somewhere and be gone again. I'd be like, nope, not even gonna do it.
I'd be like, I'm going to the house in Mexico. I'm out of here.
So yeah, wow, what a horrible time.
Yeah.
How dare you?
That to you, Sydney. That was my followers, girl. I'm sorry. Actually, not.
Which one did your followers give you?
Those were followers of the living room. That's not my fault.
Which one did your followers give you?
Actually, they gave me Donald Trump and George Bush and who else did they
Who
say?
gave you that?
Let me see, because I put it as a question thing, so I don't even know if I can see it anymore.
No, you can if you go to your archive, and I need to know.
Some dude that I don't know. I'd never even seen his name before. It gave me George Bush, Donald Trump, and Vladimir Putin. But I was like, it needed to be people that she knows, like, shit that they've done and said, like, for real.
Oh, you say you calling me stupid? Because I don't know what
Vladimir
Putin
But
did.
what I was saying, I mean, I don't know what Vladimir Putin says or does.
No, I'm just kidding. I really don't know what he did, so I am.
And I don't know much about George Bush either, because at that time I was in a Republican household, so I only heard good things. I know he's a horrible person, though. Yeah, Mel gave me R. Kelly, Chris Brown, and Jaden. And Tidra gave me Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. and Tupac.
Oh, I love Tidra. Even though she made me try to have sex with a man of clergy.
Okay. Are we moving on?
I feel like I should ask you one, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't even know what could be worse than what you have done to me here today.
You gave me nasty ass blue face. You gave me all men who look like they don't shower. Why would you do that?
But I also gave you Will Smith, Jamie Foxx, and
you know I got a sensitive nose.
And The Rock.
And I gave you Jaden.
That's it. That's all you gave me. Everybody else was horrifying in its own way.
Actually, I was suggested another one, like, I guess, quote unquote, good people for you. The Ghetto. Y'all, our FaceTime just cut off. If Sydney's phone died, y'all, this is gonna be. Y'all, I'm sorry. This is a ghetto ass podcast. I think Sydney's phone died. I'm over here FaceTiming her and ain't nothing happening. I am FaceTiming to no avail. I wonder if y'all can hear that. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Wow, this is so ghetto. What a ghetto ass podcast. Why do y'all listen to us? Oh my God. I guess I'm just gonna sit here. I'm bored already. Oh my goodness.
Queen, I'm back. I feel like I dream a genie in this home. Like pop, and I'm back. Just like that.
Okay. Well, you left me alone and I wasn't happy with your actions.
I can tell from the playback. I've already started to review the podcast, and I'm so happy that our listeners have been able to experience what I normally experience in our friendship.
Sydney told me she wasn't going to edit any of that out. So I'm sorry if y'all have to deal with my shenanigans. It's not my fault. It is the editors.
It's your fault for being this iconic. Like, people need to experience you how I've been able to experience you all these years. They need to love you the way I love you.
Thanks for that.
No prob. And you guys are welcome, because if y'all did not laugh at that, you're a terrorist, because that was hilarious. All right.
Oh, man. I don't even remember what all I said.
I do. I can't wait for you to hear it again. Okay. Well, it's like many hours later, so I feel like I'm in a whole nother energetic space right now than I was earlier.
Okay.
But we're going to move on. People right into Black on Black support.
Black on Black support. I have two. So why don't you start, Sydney?
Okay. So my first one is shout out to Tadria Allen, aka Jewel the Brand on Instagram. You can either follow her at Tadria Allen or Jewel the Brand, for starting her new YouTube channel. Her first YouTube video is about her experience styling her first celebrity client. Tadria, among many things, she's a model, a dancer, a stylist, and an actress. And she talked about her experience styling the guy that made the Wobble song, the real Wobble song. Not Wobble Wobble, Wobble Up, not the Chris Brown one, the original Wobble. VIC, she styled VIC. And it was her first celebrity client in college, which I thought was pretty cool that she was in college and she got her first client. But it was just a real cool, 7-minute video. So I just want to say shout out to her for starting a YouTube channel. I went to high school with Tadria, so always super nice. And I'm just very excited for people out there who have decided to follow their dreams in the creative realm, because everybody doesn't feel courageous enough to do that. So I just always think that's very dope when someone I know is following that. So shout out to her. Y'all check out her YouTube channel, which I'm sure if you type in Tadria Allen or Jewel the Brand, either on Instagram or on YouTube, it'll come up. But the second person I wanted to shout out was Dakota Ayana. She now has a podcast called...
oh, does she?
Yes, called Oh Word. It is on Spotify and Apple Music. I listened to it yesterday. I didn't get a chance to finish it, but it is very good. They were talking about... It was Women's History Month, so some of the things they talked about were their favorite women and women that had... impacted them. It was the first episode, so it was very, they have two up now, but the first episode was very much so get to know the host, and it's just really cool. I got to film Dakota when she did her first mural, and being around her is just it's like a blessing. It's just, she's just great energy and great conversation. You walk away from it feeling like you've you learned something new. And it's just the conversations I have with Black women are so wonderful. And that was one of the things they talked about on the podcast too. So check that out. It's called Oh Word, and it is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And of course you can follow Dakota. The other reason I want to shout her out, because sis is out here tattooing herself.
I saw that. I saw her ankles were yatted up. I was like, Wow, that is amazing. I want to tattoo myself.
It's so cool. And I just got off the phone with Jasmine. I was telling her, I was like, girl, I was about to try to cut my own hair because everybody so far has been like, oh my God, what? That's crazy. That's insane. Not Jasmine, but like my family.
You know what? I would highly advise against it. Not because I don't believe in you, Queen, but I just tried to cut my hair because I was out here looking extra dusty since I can't go to no barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I buzzed my head again because it was going really awry. I looked like a calico cat earlier today because I tried to cut off all the white blonde out of my hair, and my hair wasn't quite long enough, so it's like patches of little blonde everywhere. And I was like, I could probably, give myself a fade. I mean, I could fill in my eyebrows. This can't be too hard. Men do it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I looked awful. Really, really fucking bad. So, wouldn't recommend. However, I have been so jealous of people who can like do their own hair and give themselves fades and shit.
Yeah, it looks easy on YouTube, but it's funny because the first video I pulled up, the guy gapped himself and he was like, yeah, but I fixed it though. And I was like, this is not making me want to try this. Like,
No. I had like it wasn't like super noticeable, but I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely had like a gash in the side of my head. Not like cut open my skin, but it was like a little bald spot.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I didn't know. I clearly didn't turn the. You know how when you looking in the mirror, everything is backwards.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm laying the razor, the clippers. I'm thinking they laying flat on my head. Nope, they were angled to the side. So I definitely cut off like a bald spot into my head.
Oh no, yeah, that's the worst. That's what I keep saying to myself too. Because number one, I'm very asymmetrical, so I'm already like my haircut gonna look one way on one side of my head and another way on the other side of my head. And secondly, looking in the mirror just seems like it's gonna be very hard to do. Like trying to look into a mirror and cut my hair. So I don't know how it's gonna go. But one good thing, luckily for me, I'm not gonna have to find out because I don't have the right clippers anyway. So it's all good. But just say that to say, she also, and so getting back on track, Cody has Dakota Ayana also has a tattoo page. I think it's called Cody.tattoos. But if you follow Dakota Ayana on Instagram or you go to that page, she has it linked to her page, her normal page. So you can follow her like tattoo journey or whatever. And she's learning how to like shade and all that stuff. It's very cool. And all the tattoos that she's done so far look really, really dope that I've seen. And she's getting...
It is Coda... KODA.tattoos.
Oh, you better look that up. Yes, ma'am. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I'm
there
just
you
trying to
go.
keep us accurate in this thing.
Absolutely. There y'all go. That's my second shout out. She's out here with her podcast and learning how to tattoo on herself. And she said that she's like, my mom is freaking out. Like, girl, please stop tattooing yourself. But I'm like, I mean, it's coming out fine, so why not? But
yeah, no, they all look very good actually.
Yes, they do to me too. That's what I said. I was like, wow, these are bomb. But she's also an artist, so it makes sense. Like, not to say, like, I feel like having the artist background surely does help. But, of course, working on skin is definitely different, I'm sure, than working on paper. But I feel like as long as you don't go too deep, which, of course, that probably is in and of itself a whole task, trying to figure out what's too deep when you tattoo. But as long as you don't go too deep, like, I feel like she would definitely be great at it, and I'm happy. I'm excited for her. Like, I definitely, like, I would love to get to a place, like, where I'm cool with just getting random people's art on my body. Like, Vic Mensa does that. Like, he'll just have, like, his favorite tattoo artist will do, like, a random tattoo, and they always come out look like with really, really dope messages behind them and stuff. But I just heard him talking about like, yeah, this one I just got done by this artist that I really liked, and it was like a stick figure that like got smashed through the front window of a car accident, and
nice.
The bottom of it said don't call the cops because he had an experience where he had like gotten really, really messed up and like physically, and he needed basically like an ambulance, and when the cops got there they arrested him instead of like taking him to the hospital. So basically
Sounds about right.
Yep. So basically he has a tattoo now that's dedicated to like not calling the cops. But it was just a very cool tattoo. Not very nice to look at. Like it wasn't aesthetically pleasing, but like the message behind it and the artistry of it. It kind of reminded me of the ugliness of a what's that John Basquiat. Is that his name? That's right. Yeah. His
Jean-Michel
Basquiat. Yeah, I think his art is hideous, but I understand why people love it, of course. But yeah, it was kind of like that, like ugly. But
wow, I don't shade him.
Like I watched a documentary on him. I think he's a very cool person. Me and Coda were talking about that too. Like when I was filming her the very last day, we were talking about how she loves his art, and I was like, yeah, it is so ugly to me, but it's very dope, and I'm very happy to see a black man that go from like making nothing for his art to making millions of dollars on one piece. So shout out to him.
But I think he didn't even do that till he died, right?
No, he was making millions when he was alive.
Oh.
Now it's probably worth even more, but no, he was living his best life. There was a really good, it's called The Chosen Child, I think, or something like that. It's a really good documentary about him that I watched during Black History Month. I'll send it to you. But okay, lastly, I'm finna mess up her name. Is it Sierra Cherie or Sierra Shari?
Cherie.
Haha. So she started a YouTube channel too. And
I did watch her first episode.
was that the one about her, like, how she became a stripper and how her mama found out?
Oh yeah, I didn't get to finish, but I did watch most of it. But yeah, it was the how she became a stripper and how her mom found out.
Yeah. So shout out to her for starting a YouTube channel. I watched that one and her vlog from CIAA. And when she was talking about how she made like $4,000, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, I watched that one too." I don't know why I thought that was the same video.
I
watched that one too.
Yeah. So shout out to her for her YouTube channel, number one, because I'm just loving people being out here creating things and telling. I love a good story. Like, I love a good, this is how this became, and this is why I do this, and this is a day in the life of. So I was very here for it. Like, both her and Tadra, because they both went to Harding. So which is Harding University High School for anybody that is not from Charlotte that's listening to this podcast. It is a high school here in Charlotte. But yeah, and I just was like, I am here for this. I'm thinking I need to rethink my life choices, because $4,000 in a couple days.
Yeah, I'm with the shits.
I was like, I need to get thick.
As soon as they open up the strip clubs, I'm shaking a tail feather.
I need to get thick so that I too can become a stripper, because it looks like she looks like she's living her best life. And I'm sure like any other job, it has things that you don't like and things that get on your nerves and whatnot. But I'm just like, people really be out here judging strippers. And I
probably get smacked or fired on day one for smacking somebody who touched me inappropriately. Aisha, you're a dancer. And I'd be like, no me importa, I don't care. I slapped him because I did not give him permission to touch me. I don't care if I'm butterball naked.
No, I agree. But I think that's a rule, though, at certain clubs. Like, you're not allowed to touch the girls. They're allowed to touch you.
I mean, yeah, but who gonna go to a strip club where they know they're not allowed to do that because, stripper fucking... I don't know, Sunflower is always snitching on them.
Yeah, but I think she basically said it to say watching her YouTube channel made me want to rethink my life decisions, because $4,000 in 3-4 days is a great time.
Queen, if you want to dance, I'm all the way here for it.
Thank you. I appreciate you for supporting me in all of my endeavors. I think that would be a great way to make money, like my base income, while I'm trying to get my film career off the ground.
Absolutely.
But I would have to make sure I do it.
I'm always here for not judging anybody and anything, because who knows what we supposed to do in life, honestly, truly.
Right. And I mean, it's an honest living. I don't understand what people's problems is. I actually do understand what it is. I think people just feel they feel a need to feel superior to somebody. So like, well, at least I ain't a stripper. And it's like, so you know what's so interesting? Sorry, I'm about to go off on a tangent. I was watching Bad Girls Club, and on the last season, there was a girl up there who was stripped, and one of the girls just was like, they got into an argument. She's like, at least I ain't a stripper, asshole. Yada, da, da, da. And I was like, why do we throw that in people's faces? Like, your job is what you do, not who you are. Like, I don't understand why y'all think it's appropriate to like come for somebody because they strip. Like, I wouldn't go, at least I ain't a doctor, asshole. Like, you would be like,
I mean,
what?
honestly, and I would feel that even more, because I'd be like, you had to do a whole lot of school and you earned a whole lot of debt. I'm out here living my best life, shaking this fat ass like I was going to do for free anyway at Club 935. So you just mad because I'm getting ducats and I bought a Louis V.
Absolutely. So basically, don't be surprised if y'all hear that I'm in the club stripping somewhere, but nowhere in Charlotte. Like, it's gonna be very far away, so that way when I come back to Charlotte, people will take me seriously. Because again, that's the only thing that would stop me, is people not taking me seriously as a director because they heard I was a stripper. Just like when people be like, "Oh, I wouldn't," like, "Oh, Ronald Reagan."
I don't think so. I don't think. Like, I feel like directors, like a lot of them like do make like a household name for themselves, but in general, how many directors can you really name? Like 4 or 5? I mean, you probably can name a whole lot more. Me personally, I can't name that many off the top of my head. It's like being a franchise player for like an NFL team. Like, you don't know all these players' names, but like Cam Newton. You know what I mean? I feel like nobody's gonna judge you if you dance a little and then hold the camera.
Okay, well, I hope not. But I just feel like as a woman, people are going to judge me for all kinds of things just because So yeah, but yeah, shout out to all three of these wonderful Black women out here creating and doing great things and giving us content and things to do with our time in the midst of this outbreak. I wish you all very much and lots of success in all of these different endeavors with which you are embarking. And yeah, that's it for me. That's my Black on Black support.
Okay. So actually I lied. I have 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with my good sis, Tanaya.
Oh yes, ma'am.
She is a fashion blogger.
Yes, she is.
Also, makes her beauty videos with her lovely makeup routine.
Yes, she does.
She's such a stunning young woman.
Hell
Absolutely
yeah.
stunning from the time she wakes up until she beats her face and wipes all the makeup back off. She is just so stunning all the time to me. And she's a beautiful person. Like, honestly, one of the nicest people I've ever met. But yeah, she has a page. It's called Modest Guru Blog, and her website is The Modest Guru. So she has really dope. She can style her ass off. She just always is like a picture of class everywhere she goes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I told her one day, I was like, one of my favorite things about tonight that I will never forget is like she would be dressed every single day, and I would be like, wow, I'm meeting you in my stained holy from 1995 Panthers sweatshirt and hoodies and probably a slides with like that are Adidas with like Puma socks because I just don't be giving a fuck about my presentation most of the time. And she will meet me in like, you know, her boots, her houndstooth print slacks, and her cable knit sweater, and her hair laid to the guides, and skin and face just looking stunning, and, you know, a nice handbag with some accent colors. And I'm like, you know what? I should have stayed home.
Yeah.
That's what I should have done. Your outfit just told me to shut the fuck up and go back home. But anyway, she is a gorgeous person with a really dope blog. So check her out for styling tips, for makeup tips. Yeah. So that's my first Black on Black support.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
My second Black on Black support is going out to Mr. Tyler Perry.
Oh.
So Tyler recently went to the went to the restaurant called Houston's, and there were 42 employees who were obviously not working. I don't know if he like got food to go or what, but there are like 42 people who are not able to work because, you know, non-essentials, etc., like servers. And he left a $500 tip for all of them, totaling his bill at $21,000. And it's not so much the amounts, like, oh, he left 500, or oh, in total it was 21,000. It's just the fact that he thought so much about these people who didn't even help him with getting his meal or getting his food or whatever it was. Like, he thought about people that he couldn't even see, that he couldn't even hear the stories of. He just knew that people weren't working, found out how many employees weren't able to go to work and make money, and left a $500 tip for every single person. And I thought that was really, really dope.
Wow. Okay. At first I was like, oh, okay, cool. He left a $500 tip. Because when you said 21,000, I was like, damn, how much food did he order? Okay.
No. I couldn't find all the details, unfortunately. But basically, I think that he went there and got maybe food to go, because a lot of restaurants are allowing you to come do pickups and delivery, etc., but you can't come eat in the restaurant, obviously. So that means all your servers and hostess and busboys, etc., don't have jobs. The only people, or can't go to work. The only people who can are like the chefs and maybe, I guess, the managers. So for all the 42 people who weren't able to work, he left $500 tips for all of them. Wow. So yeah, I just thought that was really dope, and I feel like that's the kind of energy we need. Like, if you can afford it, you know, tip people extra. You know, even if you go to the grocery store, if you got a $10 bill in your pocket and you can afford it, because mind you, there are a lot of people out of work who don't know how they're going to pay their bills and eat, etc., during this time, and I feel for everyone. But if you can afford it, to always just look out for people that you don't have to wait to hear their story. You don't have to wait to read a GoFundMe account or something. You know what I mean? Like, just thinking of people that you wouldn't have thought of before. Because I feel like that's supposed to be our purpose, is really opening up our hearts to people that we don't have to know the stories of. Like, we can just be loving and genuine and generous no matter what.
Absolutely. I like Tyler Perry. I've liked Tyler Perry for a long time. Now, every one of his films is not a hitter for me. I'm not going to lie, but I watched them anyway because I know he does such beautiful, wonderful things with his money. He's been doing this for a long time. Like, I remember when he came on at the end of, I think it was Medea Goes to Jail, the play, and he was like, yeah, if y'all ever supported any one of my plays or my films, then you can say that you supported in the Hurricane Katrina effort because I made a donation basically, you know, in your honor, because without y'all support, I wouldn't have this money to do these things with. So he's always been a very forward giving person, or forward thinking person, very giving in general. But so I am a huge fan of him as a philanthropist and a humanitarian. So yeah, shout out to him. Hell yeah, Tyler.
And then my last Black on Black support is gonna go to Jay-Z.
Okay.
And Meek Mill, but through their reform or their prison reform alliance. I think it's just called Reform on Instagram. That's the name of the page. They have donated more than 100,000 surgical masks to prisons and jails across the country.
Oh, that's dope.
With donating over 50,000 to Rikers Island in New York City. So
nice. Yeah, I know they need it because New York is, like, you know, the epicenter of the outbreak here. So
I think in total it's, well, at least so far, I'm sure they'll be doing more and more as they can, because the masks in general, like, are in kind of low supply right now because so many hospitals and people need them in general. So, you know, I'm sure they would get a whole lot more than that, but they have to kind of wait till they've been made available. But so far, they've gone to Rikers in New York, State Penitentiary in Mississippi, another one in Tennessee, and I believe in South Carolina have been the 4 places that have gotten them from the Reform Alliance.
That's so dope.
So far. So that's really dope. Again, using your platform in any way you can. If you have a box of 10 that you can donate, you know, maybe take it to a women's shelter, or, you know, take it to the McDonald's where people are still having to work the drive-thrus and things, and subject themselves to being in contact with hundreds probably of people a day, so people can have their food. I heard a McDonald's commercial the other day, and I was like, oh my God, it's kind of crazy to think that these are the people people are disgusted and can't believe that we want to raise minimum wage for, and yet they're the ones working during a pandemic when they could expose themselves to, you know, a virus that could kill them for $7 an hour.
Yep.
Like, and knowing that if they did get sick, they wouldn't be able to afford their hospital bills, but you want them to keep working because they're, you know, quote unquote essential. So just being conscious, being mindful of how you treat people. Always treat people with love and light and respect. You don't have to respect, quote unquote, what they do, like, but that don't mean that you shouldn't show that person respect.
Right.
At the end of the day, we all people. We just trying to eat, B.
Right. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. So, mental health check-in, right?
Mental health check-in.
All right. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Mine is just to count the positives. And it kind of goes into my affirmations as well. It's kind of the same thing. So for mental health, just thinking about how we phrase things, and we've talked about this before, and I'm sure we will again during this podcast, that we have a bad habit of saying, like, using just negative talk, I guess. Like, I can't go on this vacation I planned. I can't go to the mall. I can't go to the club. I can't have brunch with my girls, whatever. But how about, you know, changing the way you talk to help change the way that you think, with just changing the words that you actually use. Like, I get to take this time to recharge. I get to take this time to work out like crazy and work on my body. I get to take this time to cook and be at home with my family. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and they were just talking about how excited they are to see people outside with their families. And I'm not a person who likes to run. I actually hate it with a passion. So I've been trying to, like, work on that, because I'm like, you know what? I'm blessed with 2 legs that work. I watched my father get to a point where he physically could not walk, from being a power lifter and a bodybuilder in his life, you know, to a point where he couldn't walk. So now I try to be extra grateful for the ability to walk, to run, to jog, even if I hate every single step I take. So in running around my neighborhood outside, I've seen people playing volleyball outside with their kids. I've seen a dad teaching his daughter how to ride a bike. I saw another dad riding his daughter around in those little Jeep like remote control cars. I see like a family of 5 that goes for a walk every day that I've never seen do that before. I see kids playing outside in sprinklers, which I feel like you never get to see anymore. I see just all kinds of stuff, but it's you know, a lot of family stuff outside, and I just think that's really, really dope. When I'm like, when else would you have gotten the chance to do that? You know, you're a mom or you're a dad and you work all day, and by the time you get home, you got to make dinner and get your kids washed and lay out their clothes for tomorrow and start your day over. Like, you don't get to play outside with your kids,
right,
and spend that time with them. So I think, you know, if we just change our outlook on the whole thing, looking at it in a positive way, these are the things I get to do. I get to spend time with family, and just have that blessing. Something that I think that a lot of people are just taking for granted is, think about the people who are or have died, you know, during this process, or have lost somebody that they love during this pandemic. These people don't get to memorialize their family and their loved ones in a proper way. You know, they don't get to have a funeral service, you know what I mean? Or if, God forbid, somebody they love dies in another state, they can't just fly to the other state and, you know, be there with their family and get hugs and comfort from their family. So be, for one, grateful if you're not having to experience that, but 2, just grateful for time that we get to grieve also. Because if you have ever lost somebody that you love and you work full time, they don't be like, oh, take 6 weeks and go get some counseling and grieve and, you know, bury your loved one and try to process this and come back when you're feeling better. No, they don't do that. Like, if you work full time, you just gonna keep on keeping on working. Like, when I lost my dad, I didn't get to, like, before I lost him, I quit my full-time job. My spirit just told me to quit. So I quit, and I got to be there with my dad during that time. And at the time, I was serving. So I literally just sent, like, a text to my boss and was like, hey, I just lost my daddy. Like, I don't know when I'm going to be back. And they were like, okay, take your time, whatever. But a lot of people don't have that luxury. So I say that to say, take this time, this quiet time that we have, to be grateful that you get to grieve, you get to process. If you are having sad feelings about things, you can actually work through them instead of having to numb yourself with your full-time job, you know, whatever that you do that keeps your mind busy all the time. It's okay to have feelings. Like, the internet, social media, and everything will tell us not to have feelings, to be stone cold bitches all the time, you know, fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to have feelings. Matter of fact, we need to be more focused on our feelings and processing them. So that's just my advice is for mental health and for affirmations is just count the positives, change your negative talk to positive talk. It's not I can't, it's I get to. So, yeah.
All right, yes, ma'am.
I'll get off my soapbox now.
My mental health check-in was basically not to beat yourself up. I feel like the post I mentioned earlier about, like, oh, basically if you don't get anything done throughout this quarantine or isolation process, then it wasn't that you didn't have time, it was that you weren't disciplined. And not to say that that's not true, not to say that's not what I'm also trying to embody during my time in isolation, but if you just have a day where all you want to do is lay around and watch TV or lay around and do nothing, stare at the ceiling. Like, the other day, one of my friends called me and I didn't call her back for a couple hours. And I told her, I was like, yeah, I was just staring at the ceiling. And she was like, what? And it's like, just, I don't feel like she was able to understand or get it. But I'm like, I'm just a very introverted person. Like, I feel like I could probably go a very long time without talking on the phone with anybody. Like, and it not be a negative thing for me. Like, I can be by myself. I'm fine with that. Like, I just have enough stuff to do within a day, even though I don't have to go to work right now. And just being able to take my time with it. And I think that's what it is. I think instead of being like, and that's not to say I don't want to have a schedule or anything, but I think being able to say, I get to read this book and I get to ingest it instead of reading this book, then I gotta go eat, then I gotta go to work, then I gotta go, like, it's like you kind of just get to actually truly, like, be in these moments, I guess. So that's one reason why, you know, maybe you're not getting as much done as you want to, but I just don't think you should beat yourself up for that. Like, if I told Kalia the other day, I was like, yeah, I watched water boil yesterday, and she was like, wow, that's boredom. And I was like, no, it wasn't boredom. I'd always wanted to, but I just never had time before. I'm like, I'm really not bored. Like, I'm really just taking my time with things for the first time since I was probably like 4 years old, I feel like. Because everything since then has always been, ever since we started going to school, which I didn't go to pre-K, if I remember correctly. I just went to elementary school, so started school at like 5 years old or 4 years old. So ever since then, we've always had things to do. And even before then, for some people, because their kid, you know, parents put kids in different programs and whatnot. But it's like, ever since we were 5 years old, we have had to go to school. Then you got to a point where you had to go to school, then you had to go to work. You got to go to school, you got to go to work, you got to go to practice. Like, it's like, this is the first time since we were children that we don't have to go or do anything other than, of course, like having to eat and go to sleep. And those, like, you know, basic essential things for survival. It's like you can really do whatever you want to. So if it takes you a little while to get acclimated and you just want to lay around and you don't want to do nothing that takes real true brain power, that's fine too. Like, I think that there's something beautiful about not having so much to do and not having so many obligations and not being so stimulated. Like, yesterday I turned my phone off for a couple hours, and I always feel very light when my phone is off. I just don't feel any pressure, like, to look at Instagram or to see who texted me or who called me. Like, it's like, now my phone is off, so I get to read this book or I get to watch these videos or whatever it might be that I'm trying to learn at the moment. But yeah, just say to say, don't beat yourself up. If you have goals, I of course wish you the best with accomplishing them. But, like, I think that this is a time to really get to be in these moments. So I would just say take full advantage of that. Would be my mental health check-in. Just not beating yourself up about anything that you didn't get accomplished yesterday or last week. And you can always start fresh and start anew tomorrow. But don't beat yourself up.
Like I said earlier, every day has been January 1st for me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Start at the very top every day.
Absolutely. So yeah, just give yourself this time to just, like, relax again for the first time since we were in college, because this is like a summer break. You can't go nowhere, but I haven't even been on isolation to the extent of a summer break time length yet. So I'm just sitting here like, I'm just gonna relax and chill. Like you said earlier, like, the fact that I can breathe, the fact that I'm not hooked up to a ventilator machine somewhere, the fact that I'm not sick, my parents are not sick, no one that that is in my personal life is sick or been affected by this in a physical way by COVID-19. Like, yes, some people are out of work and this and the third, but at the end of the day, on that base level, like, you still have your health. And I think that that's a lot in and of itself. So, yeah, that's my mental health check-in and my affirmation too. So I guess we both wrapped that up into one little bundle there. But for me to close out, I just want to say I wish y'all well. I wish y'all health. I wish y'all wholeness. If you have lost someone or know somebody affected by COVID-19, I wish them a speedy recovery. And if you have lost someone, I wish everybody who's affected by that wholeness and your time to grieve in the best way that you can with all the different circumstances going on right now. Stay home if you can. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Do all the things that you've been wanting to do. Learn a new thing. Lay around. Just do what you feel when you feel it. And yeah, that's it for me. So I have been Sid the Great, and I'm gonna let Aisha do her thing.
And I am Aisha Damali. Thank you for tuning in, for blessing us by listening. Hopefully we can get a couple more episodes out very quickly, like this month.
I know, right?
Yeah, just continue to support, share us, like us, comment, rate. When you post us on social media, go ahead and tag Sid the Great _ at Aisha Damali and the Living Room 44 _ 40.
Something like that.
I don't be knowing our page name half the time. But yes, please go ahead and tag us, help us build, help us grow. This is the perfect time to be supporting an entrepreneur that you know. Absolutely. So love y'all, be great, stay blessed. Y'all ain't gotta get at home. Actually, y'all do gotta go home. It is a pandemic. Peace.
Left me in a red light, I followed you. Girl, get your head right, it's all on you. I'm tired of this wall, can I break through? Can I break through? Can I race? I'm always on the go, aren't you, baby?